or to acknowledge this reality, and that is that we are functioning in a hostile white supremacist environment. That's a fact of life that we face every day. But why don't you black people stop crying? Why don't you, you're always complaining. I live in a hostile environment. I didn't create it, I didn't ask for it, and I want it to be that way. But I live in an environment where everything, every day, tells me that this is a white supremacist society. It emphasizes it in every way, every subtle and not so subtle ways. Now, although we have the potential to once again become the most powerful people on the earth, yes, we do. You must believe that about us. We are yet fragmented and powerless. And we're only still fragmented and powerless because we have not come to internalize the belief that we are to be the head and not the tail. Once we internalize it, as the Honorable Marcus Garvey taught us, peace be upon him, once we get to know ourselves, know that in us is a sovereign power and an authority that is absolute, he said it would only take 24 hours. And we'd be back in control of things again. So it's a mind thing we're dealing with here. It's a spiritual journey we have to complete. And they can't do nothing about it. Bombs, lasers, nothing. You cannot stop an idea whose time has come. And things have come full circle. And I know that the white man is not God. Therefore, he cannot stop God. And this is the will of God, but whatever name you want to call the divine intelligence, this is the will that is being manifested in the world today. We must just come up and measure up and live up to our divine calling. Nobody else's standard. You know what that divine calling is. Don't nobody have to come and tell you. It's in your heart. You feel it every day. You might not be quite sure what it is, and you may not be able to articulate it like some of us, but you know it's there. In your soul, you know that you were called for something better than this. And you sense that your time has come. We got soldiers out in the street knowing they're supposed to fight, but not knowing who they're supposed to fight. But they have come for this time because we need an army. Now it's our job to go get that army and redirect it. That's the challenge to us. Don't let them make you scared of our own children. You can't deal with your own children. That is our army. Let's go get it. Let's redirect it. That's what before us. All right, let me hush now. I'm going to make somebody mad. I call upon a witness. Call upon the witness of an ancestor, El Hajj Malik El Shabar, Brother Malcolm, whose spirit is all over this city. You can't go nowhere here without feeling the presence of Malcolm. And he said that we're not catching hell because we're Christians or Muslims or anything else. He said we're catching hell here because we're black folks living in a basically white supremacist society. That's what he said in essence. Not in those words, but that is what he said. Therefore, if that's why we're catching hell and not getting all we're supposed to get out of life, we can now not in turn around and use the same standard, judgmental standard, on one another that our enemy uses on us. He said we were heathens. He said we were worshiping the wrong gods, and he needed to introduce us to God. And in order to do that, he had to rape us. He had to beat us. He had to castrate us, and he had to enslave us to introduce us to God. That was his view of it. And you've heard me say before, he didn't have nothing we needed, Columbus or none of them. But that's another story. He also went on to tell us, or we go on to find out, that we are denied access to the fruits of America. And I use that term, I don't even like the word, but I'm just using it out of convenience. Because the white man fears us. The man lives out of fear. Now listen now. I'm not just standing here as a wild-eyed militant, although I am militant. I am a separatist. I am a black nationalist freedom fighter. I don't apologize for that. I'm not telling you what you should be. I'm just letting you know what kind of person's talking to you right now. But the thing is, The man's history shows that he's always operated out of fear. If you don't want to take my word, go read the book, The Iceman Inheritance by Michael Bradley. It's totally based on fear. So much so that in the book that is supposed to be most sacred to him, which he mistranslated and plagiarized, the Bible, he uses the term fear God and give glory to him instead of love God and reverence God and give glory to him. So that shows you where his psyche is. You don't fear your Creator. You love your Creator. You reverence your Creator. But to him, you're supposed to cringe before your God, and everything else is supposed to cringe before him. That is his concept. And Malcolm once again said, if he didn't fear you, he wouldn't gang up on you. In the Rodney King incident, what did they say? We were scared. Here are 6 men armed. Talking about they scared of this man. They got down on the ground. They have beat down. Afraid of him. That's what Dr. Wilson said. Afraid of his genetic annihilation. Now, what you gonna do with somebody motivated by that kind of state of mind? You've tried everything under the sun. You taught him the religion of Asa and Aset. You taught him Buddhism. You taught him Judaism. You taught him Christianity. You taught him Islam. You taught him everything, and it still don't make a difference. The man is scared. Scared people are dangerous people to be around. Ku Klux Klan would come. They wouldn't take you on one by one. No. What'd they do? They come in groups. But thank God one day the Spirit fell on a group of brothers who shaved their heads and strung bullets all across their chest. Klan came one night chasing one brother up in the house and gonna try to pull him out, and they came out the outhouse, out the trees, and out the bushes and declared themselves servants of the Lord, true angels of God, the deacons for defense and justice. And then the Klan had to go on the ground for a while. We need some more deacons. True deacons. And they out there, we just got to get them. Now, it is not our intent here tonight to attack, and I have to make these statements and lay the groundwork, or promote anyone's personal belief system. I'm not promoting a belief system. I'm not attacking anyone's belief system. I am merely dealing with historical fact. I'm approaching it from an historical point of view. That's all. I'm not trying to make you give up your Jesus or anything else you may be holding to that you feel is necessary for you. And I say this because oftentimes black people will not listen to you if what you are saying does not fit into the perimeters of what their beliefs are. And you know, brothers and sisters, when you do that, this is what you're saying. And you're saying, in essence, that you don't want to learn anything that you do not already know. When you do that, which means you can never grow. You can never expand. Okay, you still with me? We got to keep an open mind with one another. We have to do that in order to expand our consciousness. We cannot limit ourselves in our thinking. We have 14 to 20 billion brain cells, each one of them capable of receiving, recording, retaining, storing, and recalling knowledge. 14 to 20 billion. That's the greatest gift you could ever have been given, was your mind. You may not be able to control much of anything else in the world, but the one thing you can control if you so desire is your what? Your mind. Now, in order for it to grow and be all that it can be for you, you must keep it open, and you must allow your consciousness to expand, because we have to collectively transcend the plantation theology that has been imposed upon us ever since we've been here. I don't care what you have learned. Most of it has been learned in the context of white supremacy and a Eurocentric worldview. Now, you got to deal with that reality first before you can get down to the meat of anything that you're into. Now, let me, for just a moment, define my personal religious philosophy, because people will be saying, well, what is you then? Is you Muslim? Yes. You Christian? Yes. You a Khan? Certainly. Yoruba? Yes, I am.